Hello, I'm Granville, Emerson, and welcome to Lidline Sports with my co-host, Seattle sports enthusiast Renault Bean, affectionately called Pep A. What up, Pepe?
Hey.
It's officially football season.
Yep.
College and high school kicked off last weekend, and the NFL starts their season Thursday night with some lackluster games. But I know you'll be in front of your television set, couched up. Okay there, buddy. Like, get up on the mic. Am I on the mic now? Okay. College football season began this weekend with a bang. There were some great college games this weekend.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Howard U beating UNLV.
Say what?
Yeah. There was a 45-point spread, the biggest spread upset in college football history. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Seahawks, big trade news.
Yes, sir.
And how they got their roster down to 53. We'll also wrap up the IT Kyrie trade that actually finally went down.
Mm-hmm.
We'll update you on the Mariners, and we'll tell you what an NBA player from Seattle did to help Hurricane Harvey victims in Houston. All that and more on today's Lidline Sports.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of hurricanes, Pep, Hurricane Irma has reached Category 5 status off the southeast coast, which has prompted the postponement of the Buccaneers versus Dolphins game this Sunday.
Right.
Are you interested in watching that game?
No.
You don't want to see Jake Cutler
Thank you,
in his
Irma.
debut?
Thanks, Irv. Hit you up later.
Well, they've decided that they're either going to find someplace else, an alternative site for them to play the game Sunday, or they'll postpone it to the Dolphins' bye week, November 19th, or reschedule it somewhere near the end of the season.
Okay.
For those of you who wanted to watch that, I don't mind watching Jameis Winston when I'm watching NFL football, though. He's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks and getting better. The best running back in the league. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I actually picked Tampa to win that game.
Did you? Wow. It's Nostradamus. That's a hell of a pick right there.
Yeah.
Against the Jay Cutler Dolphins. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. The best running back in the league finally reported to camp.
Woohoo.
You should be excited.
Well, hold out. What's to be excited about? I'm glad he's in, but we'll see what happens. And he's going to have to get the rust off, see what, and get to business. So it's going to take a while.
Le'Veon Bell reported to the Pittsburgh Steelers camp to sign his $12.1 million franchise tag.
He didn't want to go to camp. That's all it was.
That's a lot of money. Obviously, he did not want to go to camp.
He just wanted to skip camp and get straight on in.
He reported yesterday, Pep, took all the reps as the first-string running back. What? He will be ready to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Training camp's kind of really overrated because they don't do anything nowadays.
They don't
hit.
Yeah, right.
So as long as you're in shape and get into your normal little routine, you should be straight. But he actually is on the come up too, more than just his $12.1 million contract. Do you know that his deal got even sweeter?
Uh-oh.
While Bell was holding out, he filled out a Dairy Queen job application as a social media joke. Now Dairy Queen is offering him a partnership that includes endorsements and TV commercials.
Well, hey, win-win. That's a smart move.
That is a smart, it wasn't a smart move on his part. He was doing it as a joke. But DQ stepped up and said, hey, let's make this happen. You know what I mean? So that's what happens when you have a big internet following. Right. That's when people are talking about I want to use my platform, that's his platform.
Correct.
All the people that follow him, all the people that talk about him, all the people that watch him, that's his platform. And so now he's parlayed his platform into a Dairy Queen partnership.
DQ.
The DQ. Pep.
Yes.
What do you know about this Ezekiel Elliott situation?
Not a whole lot.
Well, what happened was the NFLPA at the last minute decided to stick up for Ezekiel Elliott. He had went and I guess involved himself in a domestic violence situation. I know you know about that
Yes.
part of it, right?
Correct.
With his
But I just didn't know
ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the NFL said they did their own investigation, which turned up that he actually did do something to her.
Okay.
But there were no charges filed because she didn't press any charges.
Right.
So they suspended him 6 games. So the NFLPA stepped in and was trying to, well, they filed an injunction to try to get him and his 6-game suspension reduced to 0. So today, a federal judge arbitrated the case, and they upheld the NFL's 6-game suspension.
Oh.
So he will be suspended 6 games. However, he will play Sunday because the judge said that he ruled too late for this week.
Oh, okay.
So he gets to play 1 game and then sit out 6. So Cam Newton says it's unfair that Colin Kaepernick hasn't been signed yet. Says that he's better than a lot of NFL starters.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that ourselves.
True.
That ain't nothing new. I mean, Osweiler's going back to Denver. I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Quarterback Andrew Luck will not start for the Colts this week, and he hasn't even practiced, Pep. $140 million quarterback.
He's hurt, but I thought he was hurt since the start. I wasn't expecting him to start.
Well, they keep acting like he can be back any day now.
Yeah.
And they've been acting like that, and they haven't really done anything to shore up their quarterback. This dude called Scott Tolzien. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
You even know his name, Pep?
He's
Yeah,
terrible.
my man.
Yeah, he's
Tell me about Scott Tolzien.
He's terrible.
How do you get Tolzien out of Tolzen? Okay, Tolzien.
Yeah.
He's terrible?
He's terrible.
Okay. 38-year-old Josh McCown has beat out Bryce Petty for the for the New York Jets starting quarterback.
Yeah. Much ado about nothing because they don't have a quarterback.
Bryce Petty is a number 4th pick from Baylor in 2015.
Right.
And I heard he was going to start, but now they've named Josh McCown. 38 years old, they never done anything. A perennial journeyman in the league.
Another bum.
Another bum.
Another bum.
All I can say is New York Jets, good Andrew type luck with that.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Actually, Viagra offered to endorse old Josh McCown. Just kidding, that's a lie.
I was like, my antenna was up.
Fake news.
My antenna was up, waiting to hear what was going to happen.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Turning to basketball, the Lakers were fined $500,000 for tampering with the Pacers' Paul George.
Yeah.
You know anything about that?
Well, we talked a little bit about that last time.
We didn't. We were going to talk about it. It was on the slate. We didn't get to it.
I thought we did. I thought we talked about Magic saying a few things on the Jimmy Kimmel show, but I guess not.
Yeah, we talked about it off the air.
Oh, okay.
But we did talk about it, though.
All right. Sorry, folks.
So what happened on Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel asked about Paul George and, what he would say to him if he saw him. And, Magic said, oh, I just say, hey, how you doing? Because, that's not tampering if you just say hi to someone. However, Magic elaborated by saying that, well, I can't really say anything to him except that, he had some stuff that he said wink, wink, because, the Lakers can't do this and that and the other. And he actually said that. And, what he did was he elaborated too much. So that bit him. If he had just said, I'll say hi to him and that's it, nothing would have came about. However, like I said, he just kept going. And it was all in jest, obviously. I mean, Jimmy was laughing, the audience was laughing. But sometimes, you know what? The NBA says, that ain't happening.
Yeah, well, they had verbally reprimanded Magic for doing what you just articulated. But then the new Lakers GM, Rob Pelinka, allegedly called George's agent, which was the last straw for the NBA. And so they levied L.A. with a $500,000 fine. Now, today, Magic Johnson says he's going to pay the fine out of his pocket. And he told Jeannie Buss he didn't want the Lakers to pay it because it happened on his watch. Right. Partially his mistake, won't happen again.
And Pelinka's a new guy. He's never been a GM before, so he may or may not have understood what he was doing was wrong.
He did.
But I had to know. I had to think that he would know.
He would know. He would know. So Magic's a little bit lighter in the pocket, $500,000. I don't think that's going to hurt him. He gave $10 million to the church I used to attend in L.A., so
right.
He's all right on the giving side. Right. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the hottest team in Major League Baseball, winning 11 straight. And last night, J.D. Martinez had one hot bat, Pep. Martinez tied the record for most home runs in a game by blasting
four
home runs.
Dingers. And I got to correct you, bro. The Diamondbacks are the second hottest because Cleveland is on a 12-game winning streak.
Okay, the Diamondbacks are the second hottest team in the league because Cleveland, the Indians, are on a 12-game winning streak, says Pepe. And so I stand corrected. But I do want to give J.D. Martinez, this is one of these times, Pep, where I think that if you do something like that, you really don't need initials for your first name. You know what I mean? Man. You need like John David Martinez. Everybody knows it's you. Like J.D. Martinez. That could be J.D. Martinez that's walking down the street. But he had 4 home runs off of 4 different pitchers. That's the first time that's happened since 1957.
That's crazy.
Do you know it's harder to hit 4 home runs in a game, and it's less likely to happen than a pitcher throwing a perfect game?
Oh.
Statistically. So that is quite a feat.
That is.
For J.D. Martinez. You're listening to Lidline Sports with Granville, Emerson, and Renault. Pepe Bean.
Yes.
The college football season opening weekend, like we said, was fire, Pep.
Ooh,
UNLV paid Howard $600,000 to play them.
Yes.
Howard was a 45-point road dog.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Howard put it on them. They beat them 43-40.
Yeah. Cam Newton's younger brother, Kalen, totaled 330 yards in total offense.
Yes.
Newton rushed for 190 yards on 21 carries.
Mm-hmm.
And threw for 140 yards and a touchdown.
Right. That's impressive. Kalen Newton. Another Newton.
Playing quarterback.
Man.
For those of you who don't know, Howard University is an historically black college university, HBCU,
right, in
D.C. A member of the FCA, not the FBA. Okay. Football, I think the FBA, which is the Division I top teams, are the Football Bowl Association,
mm-hmm,
and the other one's the Football Championship Association. I think that's how it goes.
Well, you know, Howard's win came a day after and 10 years later of the anniversary of Appalachian State beating Michigan.
Yes, that was a big upset back then. Let me correct myself. That's FCS, so Football Championship Series are the mid-major, small Division I schools, and the FBS, the Football Bowl Series, is the big-time schools like Alabama and Clemson and all of that. All right, so FCS Liberty, a 33-point road dog, also stunned Baylor 48-43. this past Saturday. That's a big win, too. At Baylor.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Did you know 7 of the top college football upsets have happened within the last 10 years?
Parity. Teams are getting better. Schools have more money, have better facilities, better trainers.
Yeah.
It is. So check this out, though, Pep.
Yeah.
The 40-point spread before Howard beat
UNLV. Right.
The 40-point spread was undefeated.
Yeah, no doubt.
The 40, you think that Floyd Mayweather, his 50-0 record was impressive? Well, the 40-point plus spread record is 253 wins against 0 losses. That's how impressive Howard U's win was.
Right.
At UNLV in the desert. In the marquee game of the weekend, did you happen to watch it? Florida State
and Bama. I did.
12.5 million people tuned in to watch that game. It was the most watched game in college football opening weekend history.
I believe that. I mean, number 1 versus number 3. But number 1 came to play. Number 3, I mean, they started off well, but
they were up 7-3.
Right. And the quarterback, unfortunately, he got hurt. He's gone for the year, Francois.
Yeah, DeAndre Francois.
Man. But he wasn't having a good game at all.
I don't think Florida State was having a good game at all. I mean, they turned the ball over every way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, block, kicks, and fumbles, and Francois threw 2 picks.
Yeah, every turnover, they had every fruit-flavored turnover there is. Apple, cherry, berry, whatever. I mean, man. Every time I turn around, interception. And, sometimes, you read and stuff, you're not paying attention. But I kept hearing interception or fumble in my ear every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat the number 1 team by turning the ball over.
No way.
You just can't do it. You're just committing football suicide by inflicting injury upon yourself.
But what was the most exciting game?
There were a lot of exciting games.
Yeah, but I mean, the number 1, it's got to be UCLA, Texas A&M, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm mad about that, though.
Oh, so you didn't want to mention it?
Yeah, I was watching it, and it was like 28-7, something like that, and I turned it off. And I started watching Ballers on HBO. I started watching my Sunday night lineup of shows.
Well, they ended up down 44-10.
Yeah.
And then UCLA, this, for you Atlanta Falcon fans, you can relate to this. Towards the end of the third quarter to the fourth quarter, they gave up 35 unanswered.
Yeah, and they were calling for head coach Sumlin's head.
Head, shoulders, knees, toes, whatever. Man.
This guy, Tony Busby, off the A&M Board of Regents, posted to Facebook his disdain for Kevin Sumlin, citing the 45-44 loss to UCLA after the Aggies had been up, like you said, Pep, 45-10 as the reason. He said that Kevin Sumlin needs to go.
But what was he thinking when they were up 44-10?
Kevin Sumlin needs to stay. Busby said he's going to be voting no on Sumlin at the next Board of Regents meeting. Sumlin said he ain't worried about it. He says he doesn't even focus on anything outside the program, and that's really what you have to do. You have to stay focused on you, your kids, your mission. And so Pep talks a lot about overreaction Monday.
Yes.
That was an overreaction on Labor Day Monday. I mean, it's the first game of the season, people. That's where you saw teams get upset that probably if they played them next week, they wouldn't lose.
Right.
It was the first game of the season. Just getting the rust off, getting used to new players getting used to the situation,
Right.
getting used to playing. So it's possible A&M could go on a run and wind up in a
FCS Bowl game?
FBS Bowl.
Okay.
Not FCS, but FBS.
Right. Whatever, one of them. Yes.
Yeah, the bowl championships.
Yes. Correct.
And so I think that Tony Busby is way off and way out of line.
Yeah, especially for the first game.
Especially for a guy on the Board of Regents.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to make himself known. He's not supposed to weigh in on athletics.
Yeah, we shouldn't even know who he is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. And so, Tony Busby, you're wrong. And I actually hope that Kevin Sumlin proves you wrong.
Yes.
And I hope that they do go on a nice little winning streak and go ahead and make you look like an idiot since you tried to make Sumlin look like one.
Right.
And if you had that big of a concern about him, why didn't you fire him at the end of last year?
Right. Why are you
Right?
waiting now?
Exactly. Should have
But
voted.
like
no
I
day.
said, what were you thinking when they were up 44-10? You wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, exactly. You hired him in the first place.
Right.
And you were talking about exciting games. I don't know if you had a chance to see last night's double overtime thriller with Tennessee winning over Georgia Tech 42-41.
Right. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
It's a game, Pep. It was a throwback game. I mean, it was so good to watch as a football game.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was nostalgic. It was entertaining. It was interesting. It was like, what am I watching? You know what I mean?
Right. You know what? I felt that way about when I was watching Maryland and Texas.
Texas got blasted. Well, at Texas by Maryland, right?
Yeah, at Texas, right. But I mean, the way that it was like, you score, I score, you score, I score, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. This game wasn't like that. Georgia Tech dominated almost the whole game. This dude, man, Taquan Marshall, I don't even know how tall this dude is, man. When he takes the hike on the center, his chin is just above the center's butt.
What?
Yes. They were running the option, Pep. The option. This dude carried the ball 44 times for 249 yards and 5 TDs.
The quarterback?
The quarterback. The quarterback. And threw 5 for 9 for 120 yards.
Well, he's accurate.
He was getting busy.
Yeah.
I mean,
productive.
They deserved to win the game.
Man.
Man, it was just sad how they lost. I got to give Tennessee a lot of credit. I did not think Tennessee was going to win the game. I mean, they were up like 21-7. They were basically handling Tennessee. But then Tennessee got on a little roll. Tennessee has this wideout, that big, strong 6'3" dude. They couldn't handle him at all. And so it came down to the first overtime, and Tennessee went into overtime, scored to take it into the second overtime. So you get the ball back to start the overtime.
Right.
Second overtime. So Georgia Tech had the ball back to start the second overtime. They went for it, Pep. Right? They scored and they went for the 2-point conversion.
Right.
Instead of tying the game up and going into a third overtime. And they lost.
Well, were they at home?
Yeah, they were in the new dome, whatever that is.
See, people don't learn. When you down and you're at home, you don't go for the win, you go for the tie.
Right.
When you're on the road, you go for the win.
Right. But I don't understand why he would go for the win in the second overtime. That's like a fourth or fifth overtime deal.
Right.
Right? The fourth or fifth overtime, let's go just see what we can do.
Yeah, because overtime in college football is a lot different than the NFL.
Because in the third overtime, you start with the ball.
Right.
So I didn't get that. When he was doing it, I'm like, why are you going for 2? Like right now. Like, kick the extra point, tie it up, go get the ball back, score, and stop them from scoring, and you won.
Right.
Right?
Yes. Like I said, you're at home.
Why play the win or lose right there? Like, it didn't make any sense.
You're at home, plus you had momentum. When you score and you get the extra point to tie the game, that's called momentum, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're at home.
And the other one is called sudden death.
Yes. That's right.
When you're walking off the field with your head hanging down. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's take a look at the AP Top 10. At number 10, we've got Florida State. Florida State lost to Bama, right? Mm-hmm. And they're number 10. Wisconsin beat the crap out of Utah.
Yeah, in the second half, though. They were behind at halftime.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay. They turned it on.
Boy. He got to 59. Yeah.
I wish I could have saw this game. Florida at number 8 lost to Michigan. Michigan number 8 beat Florida 33-17. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the AP College Football Top 10 here on Lidline Sports with Granville, Emerson, and Renault Pepe Bean. Don't go away. The Washington Huskies moved up one spot to number 7 on the AP list after they beat Rutgers 30-14. You're listening to Lidline Sports with Renault Pepe Bean and myself, Granville Emerson. We're talking about the AP Top 10 rankings of the first week after the first series of games in the college football season. 30-14.
It was shaky. They started off pretty shaky. But, I thought the point spread was too much to begin with. West Coast team going on the road back east is always tough. And it doesn't matter it almost doesn't matter how good you are. Rutgers is much improved from last season as well. They got a new quarterback, and they had a couple of new transfers. So they really got much better. So they won 30-14. They pretty much handled them in the second half. So, UW should be fine. They got Montana coming up this weekend, and that should be, a laugher.
USC comes in at number 6. The Trojans. They're not the only one. I struggled. The Trojans struggled with Western Michigan before going on to win 49-31.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me. But they did have a feel-good story in that, where a blind kid was the long snapper and successfully handled that. So that was good to see.
Yeah, that was good to see. Oklahoma drubbed Texas, El Paso 56-7. Penn State 52-0 at number 4 over Akron.
Yeah, those Nittany Lions, they're back, folks.
Coach James Franklin has them back. We talked about that before.
Right.
Big ups to him for bringing them back from the brink of nothing. After leading Penn State to their first outright Big Ten title last year, it was the first Penn State outright title since 1994. James Franklin, yeah, he re-upped 6 years, 34.7 million smackaroos.
Hey, nice.
Clemson at number 3,
defending champs,
over Kent State, 56-3. Folks, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here is the dude to watch. And we talked about who was going to replace Deshaun Watson. Right?
Mm-hmm.
His name is Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant looked real good. I mean, he's got an arm. He looks like a running back at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's accurate. He was 16-22 for 236 yards.
Productive.
77 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
Watch that kid. Kelly Bryant of Clemson. He may be the next big thing.
Okay.
Number 2, Ohio State. 49-21 over Indiana.
They also struggled early.
It's the first game of the season, Pat.
Right. I'm not saying, I'm not blaming or, being negative. I'm just saying that's what happens.
That's what happened. And Alabama, of course, we talked about it. They beat Florida State 24-7.
Correct.
Looking every bit the number one team in the nation.
Especially on D.
Like I said, Alabama, they don't really need to recruit. Dudes just want to go to Alabama now.
Yeah.
Share your comments on Lidline Sports Facebook page. Please like and follow us on Facebook at Lidline Sports. And email us, lidlinesports@yahoo.com. This is Lidline Sports with Granville Emerson. You can just call me G, and you can call my partner Pepe. Pep, the Isaiah Thomas trade is final.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving.
Done deal. Boston sweetened the deal a little bit. They threw in a 2020 second-round pick, and Cavs said, okay, we'll take it. So, the Cavs had the option to veto the deal, but fortunately, they did not.
Well, Cleveland I'll tell you this, Cleveland was not going to veto that deal. They fleeced Boston to begin with. And then they got another draft pick out of the situation.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. It's like IT, Crowder, the other dude, Zizik, and New Jersey's unprotected first-round pick.
Yep, and a second-rounder in 2020.
And a second-rounder in 2020, and who knows? I mean, I keep telling everybody, Isaiah was a second-round pick. You can't tell me you can't get nobody in the second round.
Right. Plus, hey, Isaiah was the last pick in the draft.
That's what I said. Kyrie was the same draft.
Right.
First pick.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
And you trade for each other.
Yeah. Yeah. First time in the history that two teams that face each other in the conference finals traded with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Boston goes back to being crap. There's been much ado about IT's hip injury. That he may not be back till after the All-Star break. IT says that his injury is not career-threatening, that he will be the same Isaiah Thomas that he was before the injury, and that's what all the doctors are promising him telling him. So he will be back. He's not a damaged player. That's his words. Quote, I am not a damaged player, end quote. I'll say this. Even if he doesn't come back till after All-Star break, who cares, Pep?
Really?
What's my philosophy? The NBA does not start till after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, who remembers any game before February?
What game before February even matters? It doesn't. And Cleveland has proven that it doesn't matter if they have the home court record or not. They're still going to make it to the NBA championship game.
Right.
So I'd rather have a healthy Isaiah Thomas
with a chip on his shoulder,
rested, playing half a season, than that dude having to play the whole season.
Right.
All right? He's going to come in on fire. I'm not even worried about it.
No.
And I'm looking forward to it. I think it gives Derrick Rose and Jose Calderon an opportunity to play, get their feet wet in their system. And you're right over there.
Good.
Our engineer's
Woosa.
Just have a headache.
Oh, okay.
I can hit you in your knee and make you forget all about the head.
Yeah, it's called pain transfer. I know all about that.
All right, y'all, say a little prayer for Lucy. Got a little headache over there. I never get headaches, so I feel for people that get them.
Especially migraines. Oh, my goodness.
You're listening to Lidline Sports with Granville Emerson and my partner, Renault Pepe Bean.
Yes.
The week's top story, the Seahawks. Traded
Yes.
your guy,
Yes.
Jermaine Kearse,
Right.
for
Sheldon Richardson.
Who is that?
He's a beast. That's who he is.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He was the best thing the Jets had on D. That's for sure.
The Seahawks are stacking defensive linemen because they understand that the way that they won the Super Bowl last time was with the best defensive line in the league.
Yes.
And so they will have, again, the best defensive line in the league. They've got Michael Bennett. They got Cliff Averill on the outside. Then they got next to Michael Bennett, Sheldon Richardson. And they got Frank Clark on the other outside.
Mm-hmm. Man.
It's going to be a sack party this season. If it's not, then something's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, whew. Can you imagine? Well, now, would they have made this trade had McDowell not gotten hurt?
No. Pete Carroll said that was the impetus for making the trade.
Right.
Is to try to replace him.
Gotcha.
He was happy with Nazir Jones.
Right.
But he needed the depth that he wanted.
Yes.
So that he can rest Sheldon Richardson. So during the Super Bowl years, their defensive line, nobody played more than 60% of the snaps.
Right.
So they were trying to get back to that with the depth that they have along the defensive line.
Smart move.
And so, yeah, I mean, because...
Listen, they fleeced the Jets. I mean, Curse is okay. And you know what? As negative as I've been about him, I hope that he does well in New York. I don't wish anything bad. I want him to succeed and be great. However, he doesn't have a quarterback in New York.
I was getting ready to say that.
There's no quarterback there.
There's no quarterback.
And he had a top-tier quarterback here, and he was lackluster at best. So, good luck. That's all I can say. I wish him the best, and listen, I hope that they throw to him and he succeeds, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, we were talking about the Seahawks defensive line. So not only will the projected lineup is Frank Clark at one end, with Sheldon Richardson at a defensive tackle, Michael Bennett at a defensive tackle, and Cliff Averill at a defensive tackle. That gives you backups of Jerron Reed.
Yeah, they cut Reuben.
Yeah, they cut Reuben to make room for
Richardson.
They play the same position.
Right.
But they've got Jerron Reed, and they've got Nazir Jones.
Yes.
They got this dude David Bass that played really well too, and Dewey McDonald.
Yeah.
So they've got their defensive line, their rotation is like, ooh, man, that's a squad that Pete Carroll and Schneider have put together, at least up front. If the offensive line is weak, the defensive line is just as strong.
Super strong. Yeah.
It's the other way around.
Yes.
But the Seahawks are number 5 in the NFL power rankings, and they are number 5 behind, of course, the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers. Who's number 4? Somebody else is number 4 that they have us behind.
Falcons?
The Falcons, thank you. And that's solely because of our offensive line.
Right.
We went out and traded for an offensive lineman.
Yes.
Isaiah Battle from the
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Offensive tackle, to serve as a backup for Reese Odiambo, who will be making his first start at offensive tackle. This guy, Isaiah Battle, he's a big dude.
Right.
He's a big, strong, fast dude that was drafted in the what do you call that draft?
The supplemental?
Supplemental draft.
Right.
Yeah, had a brain lock. He was drafted in the supplemental draft. That's why you have a partner on the radio.
Hey.
My Mr. Know-It-All, Renault
about
Pepe Bean. In the supplemental, he's drafted in the supplemental draft, and so he hasn't had really a lot of NFL experience.
Okay.
But they only gave up a compensatory pick.
Right.
And that means that pick is determined by how well he does.
Yes.
So if he doesn't do anything, then
It means nothing.
it means nothing.
Right.
And so I thought that was another good move. We picked up another DB. We picked up
Justin Coleman.
Justin Coleman from the Patriots for a
Yeah.
7th round pick.
Yeah.
I'm glad because I was wondering why they kept Nico Thorpe.
Right.
Because Nico Thorpe can't cover me. I mean,
Yeah, they cut this Desir, or however you pronounce his name, and kept Thorpe.
Yeah. I mean, I think Thorpe is a good special teams player.
Right. And it's probably what kept him on the team.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely not his defensive back skills. And so they acquired this guy, Justin Coleman, to be the number 4 defensive back. He immediately steps into that spot. On offense, Pep, we talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
They have Rawls, Thomas Rawls, listed as the number 1 running back. Mm-hmm. And Eddie Lacy as the number 2 back. Mm-hmm. So they're going into Green Bay starting Rawls and not Lacy. I know you said you thought they should start Lacy because he has something to prove.
I still think that, but okay. I'm not the coach.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I tell kids this all the time. Just because you start the game don't mean you're going to finish it.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. And this is just game 1.
It's just game 1. And so Rawls is the number 1 running back.
Is he ready to go?
They said that he could have played last week if it was a regular season game.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's ready to go. I did not understand why they kept Tanner McAvoy and cut Casey Williams.
I concur. I thought that when they traded Curse, that was saying to Casey Williams, welcome aboard. I mean, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
But they kept not even, you know what? Well, they kept McAvoy, yeah. Well, you know what? That's not too much of a surprise considering he was here last year and he didn't really do a whole lot. But
exactly.
He's 6'6", and they like him. But Darboh, who had done absolutely nothing. Now, I understand he was a 3rd-round pick, okay, out of Michigan. But Darboh has done absolutely nothing. He had 3 catches all preseason, all in the last game of the preseason. They kept him and cut Casey Williams.
Well, they say that Darboh practiced well. We're talking practice. So they saw something in practice.
Well, we have our guy in practice, and he talked about Casey Williams. He never said a word about Darboh.
Yeah, but he's not a NFL evaluator.
Well,
so Casey Williams, this is one of the things that I must say that I'm disappointed in Pete Carroll. I'm disappointed in Pete Carroll because he preaches competition.
Right.
And he says that you got to compete and you got to win. And Casey Williams competed and he won, but he didn't win a spot on the team.
You know, here's what baffles me. People were saying, well, maybe they were trying to stash him on the practice squad, blah, blah, blah. He's been with the Seahawks since 2015.
Right.
They know who he is. They know what he brings to the table. And they probably told him what to work on in order to make the team. And apparently, in what I saw, my eye test, as I like to say, he did everything asked of him.
He outplayed every receiver in the preseason.
Yet, they cut him. Now, to me, are they playing games? What are they doing?
I don't know.
But anyway,
I don't understand it in a number of different reasons. Okay, number one, Pete Carroll says he loves big receivers. Casey Williams is the biggest receiver we have.
Other than McAvoy, you're right.
Other than McAvoy, right? And he outplayed every receiver. And so now we got Paul Richardson, who gets hurt all the time.
All the time.
You got Tyler Lockett that's coming off an injury.
Right.
You got Tanner McAvoy in his 2nd year, right? And you got
a rookie,
Amara Darboh, who we haven't seen, and he's a rookie.
Right.
All right? And so I don't understand how you have this kid in your program for 3 seasons.
Yes.
And he's proven in practice and in the preseason games that he is ready to take his place, his rightful deserved place that he's earned, and then you cut him.
He deserved to be on that 53. No question about it.
The only silver lining, if there is one for Casey Williams, is he went to the Cleveland Browns where he should start and start.
I hope he does. man, I hope he brings it.
I hope that he...
And you know what? I don't even care if he brings it against my team, the Steelers. As long as my Steelers win and he does well, I'm good.
I hope that he and Deshaun Kaiser, rookie quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, set up a good relationship, like most quarterbacks and their number one receivers,
Right.
and that he has a great career with the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, sir.
Because he deserved to be on the Seattle Seahawks squad.
No doubt.
And I know fans are upset because he didn't make the team.
And the flimsy excuses I was hearing.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand what happened. And then they also too have J.D. McKissick, who is a hybrid,
right,
running back, wide receiver.
And they've been raving about him since the start of camp. But each game I saw him play, I wasn't impressed.
Well, I haven't seen him play, but I've heard much talk about him. I heard him talking himself on the radio. I don't remember what station I was listening to a week or so ago. And everybody's been raving about him. Pete Carroll raves about him.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I think that he is an insurance for C.J. Prosise. They will use him.
Same type of player.
They will use him the same way as they use Prosise. And so
another guy that gets hurt all the time.
And so they won't waste their playbook by putting in plays for Prosise and then not have anybody to run them with.
Right.
I was surprised that they cut my guy and kept Trey Madden at fullback.
Oh, Marcel Reese cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that one either.
So I don't know if some of this...
But that was a money issue, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it all comes down to money from time to time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is. So we'll see what happens. The offensive line, you got Odiambo at left tackle, Luke Joko at left guard, Justin Britt at center, Mark Glowinski at right guard, and he's battling with Ode Abushi as to who will actually be that starting right guard. Jermaine Ifedi at right tackle, and backed up by Ethan Posick and Isaiah Battle. They'll switch.
I like Posick.
I know you've been saying that all camp.
I like him. Yeah.
And so you got Russell Wilson backed up by Austin Davis. They cut Trayvon Boykin and then brought him back to the practice squad.
Yeah. And I agree with that move for sure, because there was no way in the world that Boykin should be the backup over Davis.
Well,
because Davis outplayed him.
Yeah. What I read was basically Trayvon Boykin, like, you're supposed to go out and win a job. He actually went out and lost his job.
Right. Because in practice, he had terrible practices from what I understand. And when he played the game, he had one good game against the Chargers, but every other game was not good.
Well, let me tell you where he lost it, just by reading what happened. He lost it in the fourth preseason game when he had a chance to throw the ball out of bounds, stop the clock, and kick a field goal, and he got sacked.
Right.
He's running around, wasting the clock, and got sacked. So if you can't manage the clock, then they're not going to let you.
Heck no.
You know, so, and then Austin Davis went down the field and won the game for him.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter. I understand him against four stringers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's lights out, but he was better than Boykin for sure.
Okay.
So
we talked about it earlier. The Huskies traveled to play Rutgers. Got to give a shout out to Dante Pettis. 6 punt return in his career, a UW record.
Yep.
Shattering his old record of 5.
Right.
And so we'll give props to him for that.
He'll shatter it some more.
He probably will. Huskies play University of Montana at 5 p.m. Saturday at Husky Stadium. Mm-hmm. What's going down in the town, Pep?
Well, I guess you mentioned your Mariners earlier.
Oh, I went to the Mariners game.
That's right.
Yes, I did. It was a beautiful night at the ballpark, Pep.
Yes.
Exactly why I went to the game.
Nice.
Sat out there and watched the game, 3-2 game. The Mariners won. Everything was lovely.
Lovely.
It was a nice night. Nice, warm summer night. That's why I go to the safe in the summer. That was nice. Stormer in the playoffs?
Storm back into the playoffs.
Backed in?
They backed in because somebody lost. 2 teams lost. I don't remember who lost. But I know 2 teams lost and put them in. So they beat Chicago in the final game, and now they play Phoenix. Okay. And they're going to be bounced out. They're not beating Phoenix.
Oh, man. I want to give a shout-out to Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford is such a great ambassador for the city of Seattle. He's done so many things. He has the Jamal Crawford Pro-Am where he brings professional basketball players to town during the summertime, and they get to play with high school and college kids at Royal Brougham Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. He has a great foundation where he does things for kids. He has that July 4th barbecue where if you don't have any place to go, on July 4th, you can go out there to Green Lake and watch fireworks and eat barbecue on him, have food and drinks. And so it's just a really, really good thing.
Yeah, this guy gets it, man.
He does the backpack giveaway and free haircuts for kids before the start of school. And then this year Jamal stepped up and did something new in the wake of Hurricane Harvey. And he decided that he was going to step up and have this Jamal Crawford Hurricane Harvey hygiene supply drive, where he had 2 locations set up in the city of Seattle for people to bring soap, Vaseline, toothbrushes, toothpaste, toilet paper, baby wipes, rubbing alcohol, formula for baby food, peroxide, baby bottles, feminine hygiene products, pacifiers, lotions, and Band-Aids. And then he shipped them to Houston.
Awesome.
That is an awesome thing to do, Jamal Crawford. And that's what it's all about. That's what's using your celebrity for good and using your celebrity for the good of others.
Right.
So thanks, Jamal Crawford, on behalf of us here at Rainier Avenue Radio.World and Lidline Sports, on behalf of me, Granville Emerson, and my partner, Renault Pepe Bean. Thank you, Jamal, and thank you all for listening to Lidline Sports. You can listen to Lidline Sports on Rainier Avenue Radio.World, as well as listen and follow and like us on our Facebook page, on YouTube and Twitter at Lidline Sports. Join us again next week for more great sports talk on Lidline Sports. Sports as we see it from
just below our lid.
Holla.